Welcome, everyone. Today we're doing a deep dive into the really fascinating world of Fumi Exotics. We're looking at these excerpts from Fumi Exotics, the sauce that built a cannabis empire, from Nug Notes.
Right.
And our mission, really, is to figure out how this underground brand managed to build such massive hype. Unique marketing, smart collabs, iconic products, leading to a real empire.
Yeah, and the really interesting part you mentioned.
Exactly. How does a brand build serious equity? How does it thrive when it's dealing with tons of counterfeits?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? So what were those foundational pieces? Where did they start?
Okay, let's get into it. So Fumi Exotics, they started as this underground drip. Basically, a West Coast grow team, but with solid New York City ties.
Okay.
They built hype quietly at first. No storefronts. It was all word of mouth through people they called trusted hands.
Super exclusive then.
Totally. Their public stuff really kicked off with Instagram drops around October 2021.
And it seems like they hit on something big pretty quick. Because in 2022, that's when their duck sauce, well, it just detonated, right?
Detonated is the right word.
And that was a collaboration, yeah, with High Volume out in L.A.
And Eazy LLC, that New York connection.
Yeah.
Described as a trap pipeline, which basically means this super effective street-level network getting product directly to people.
Gotcha. And the product itself, that yellow pouch, like the malled Chinese food packets, genius.
Absolutely. It just exploded. Menus, TikTok. Eazy himself called it the biggest strain on the East.
Wow.
And, it wasn't just a one-off. That success led to the whole sauce series. Soy sauce, sweet and sour, yum yum.
Right, keeping that theme going.
Yeah, each one had that kind of candy gelato with food court parody energy. Super distinct. The soy sauce even got triple stamped. Both Eazy and High Volume were involved. Yeah. Showed that combined power.
And then they switched it up from the patches.
They did. They moved to what they called fugu in jar runs. So their first non-sauce strains, or phenos, came in these UV-protected glass jars.
Okay, stepping up the presentation.
Definitely. Focus on limited batches, high terpenes, that candy gas profile people love. Think Graffiti OG and Grape Pop.
Oh, yeah, Grape Pop. That made waves. Debuted at Zalympix in 2025, right? Known for that sticky, soda pop smell.
Exactly. And then Reptar Cherry Crunch, tapping into that Saturday morning cartoon nostalgia.
So this is where it gets really interesting with the brand strength. Counterfeits. They popped up fast.
Right. Fake duck sauce bags on Alibaba. Sometimes totally empty.
Which, logically, you'd think, okay, that kills brand trust, dilutes everything.
Yeah, you'd assume so.
But the source says the hype just kept building. It seems like because the real stuff was so limited and authentic, the fakes almost amplified the desire for the genuine article.
That's wild. So the fakes actually helped.
In a weird way, yeah. It suggests the brand became bigger than just the weed. It was a cultural thing. And they cemented that with those culture crossovers, right? Deepening the NYC links, music, streetwear, working with artists like Sleepy Hallow, Chef G. It wasn't just a product, it was an experience.
Totally. And their marketing strategy really doubled down on that scarcity. Micro drops, max hype.
How'd that work exactly?
They'd drop graffiti jars just using an IG post.
Yeah.
Maybe a few hundred jars total. So the aftermarket price would just spike.
Creates instant demand.
For sure. And remember that 420 pop-up in Washington Square Park?
Yep.
Giving free ice cream to the first 1,000 people? That's creating a moment, a legend.
Yeah, that's smart. Community building, not just selling.
And that led into the whole merch era. Hoodies, decks, even these crazy sauce bottle-shaped resin rigs, selling out in hours online.
Wow.
Plus the nostalgia plays, like the Fumigachi toys and those themed battle drops, Mets versus Yankee style.
Keeping it fun, keeping it connected to the culture.
Exactly.
And then they brought it full circle, didn't they? With the viral redrop of the original duck sauce.
Yeah, reuniting with High Volume and Eazy proved the magic was still there. That phrase, "You got that duck sauce?" Apparently you still hear it. LA to NYC.
It's a testament to the impact, but they still keep it tight, right? That members-only problems idea.
Scaling stays slow. Quality is key, reserved for the core community. Their whole thing is, you can never lose if you got the sauce.
Love that. It really sums it up.
So, thinking about all this,
Yeah.
what does the Fumi Exotics journey really tell you, our listeners, about building a brand, especially in these less conventional spaces, turning that scarcity, that community, into real desire?
Yeah, it really makes you think, doesn't it? How could brands, I mean, maybe in any industry, use that playbook today? Hyper-specific cultural nods, intense community focus, maybe even navigating something tricky like counterfeits. How do you use all that to build that incredibly loyal, almost cult-like following? It's a fascinating question.